wacky weather again today, although it is mostly cloudy. And with that in mind, what's going on today? I guess this one had a drone crash, and they say this one had explosives on it, and I guess a bomb of sort. It said crashed military drone in Croatia contained explosives, says investigators. Interesting diagram for all the parts and stuff too. It says a military drone that crashed near Zagreb amid the war in Ukraine was armed with an explosive device, Croatian crash investigators have said. The Soviet-era aircraft is believed to have flown all the way from the Ukrainian war zone over 3 European NATO member states before it was found in the Croatian capital last month. Members of the Croatian investigative team told reporters that fragments of the drone found at the crash site show that the device carried an improvised aircraft bomb filled with an unknown explosive substance. And it gets really technical. Anybody, I guess, know all this stuff? It says it was unequivocally established that these were fragments of the OFAB 100-120 air bomb, Major Mile Tomic said on Wednesday. Both the bomb and its trigger were made in the former USSR, he added. Croatian investigators said they have not yet conclusively determined who launched the Tu-141 drone, an aircraft originally used for surveillance missions. And apparently, I guess they say they were criticizing NATO about their slow response, and it says the 6-ton drone apparently drifted uncontrolled out of Ukraine, crossed into Romania and Hungary before entering Croatia, slamming into a field near a university campus in Zagreb. Around 40 parked cars were damaged in a large explosion on March 10th, but no one was injured. That's kind of amazing. Something that does that much destruction and where everyone was found, I guess, safe afterwards. I thought this piece of news was actually interesting too. Now, many times when it comes to subscription-based services, a lot of people would enroll into them, and even if they don't use the service, you'll just keep getting billed. I guess that's good for the company. But how about this, where companies are actually, I guess, taking initiative to cancel them for the customers? It says CMA welcomes Sony and Nintendo's gaming subscription improvements. The CMA welcomes improvements made by Sony and Nintendo to their gaming subscription practices and has now closed its investigation into the online gaming sector. The Competition and Markets Authority's sector-wide investigation looked at subscriptions for online gaming services where people automatically continue to be charged indefinitely until they take action to end their contract. The CMA was particularly concerned that people might find themselves locked into paying for services they no longer want or use. So it says here first, in particular, Sony has agreed to put in place measures to protect customers who haven't used their memberships for a long time but are still paying. Sony will contact these customers to remind them how to stop payments, and if they continue to not use their memberships, Sony will ultimately stop taking further payments. And then with that, I guess Nintendo is doing this as well. And it says, Nintendo, which changed its business practices during the course of the investigation so that Nintendo Switch Online service is no longer sold with automatic renewal set as a default option. This means people will not be automatically entering into renewing contracts, addressing a number of the CMA's concerns about people becoming locked in. I can imagine this happening many times too, so I guess that's good for the consumer. It actually makes me wonder at times, what happens if, let's just say, the person passed away or something like that, and then all of a sudden they're constantly billed with these monthly plans and they're not canceled because people weren't aware of what they were subscribed to, so it'll be good in those cases, I would imagine. And apparently with this piece, people were kind of getting, I guess, skeptical about this. Apparently Bill Gates had a speech here on a TED Talk, I guess, event, and what he said about handling pandemic and stuff made people, I guess, wonder, what is this all about? It says here, Bill Gates sells TED audience on $1 billion solution for preventing pandemics. So what exactly, I guess, is his idea in terms of spending all this money? It says Gates proposes a team of 3,000 doctors, epidemiologists, policy and communication experts, and diplomats to be coordinated by the World Health Organization at the cost of $1 billion a year. The team would help national health services zero in on disease outbreaks with the potential to flare into daily epidemics. Speed would be of the essence with exponentially expanding pandemics, Gates said. He noted that if COVID-19 had been stopped in the first 100 days of the pandemic, 98% of the lives it has taken would have been saved. This won't be cheap, but it will save lives, Gates said. He hopes rich world governments will step up to support his proposal. Kind of makes me wonder too, because I know during these times, even if you just look back history not too long ago, there's certain things where people have said, do this and you're 100%, I guess, protected in every single way. It's done, we'll be out of this. But then as time went on, it just seems like it constantly changed. Now it's like, okay, now we're not sure. So one thing that's concerning during these times is, how do you determine exactly what is the 100% bulletproof way? And when it doesn't turn out to be the case, it could end up being worse. Like that lockdown and stuff in Shanghai right now. Can you imagine that? Where people, they can't even go out, buy food or anything like that. And in terms of things like, I don't know, mental health, people committing suicide apparently, like jumping out of buildings. Because it's kind of like that thought I said before. An epidemiologist isn't, let's just say, a psychiatrist. So if one person says like hey, the way to go is to lock everyone down like a caged animal, problem solved. Nobody was going to catch any virus or anything like that. Whereas you're completely blind saying, yeah, but if you lock a person, like let's just say in a small room there, isolated, aren't you gonna kill them like mentally and through other ways as well? I would say that would be the biggest issue overall, just from reading the details. Again, only a historian can look back and say, hey, this was what was going on, this would have been the best solution and all that. It just seems like there wasn't enough diverse opinions and solutions versus this one way or the highway type of, I guess, approach, which in my opinion, it just doesn't sound like it was the way to go overall. Alright, see you guys later.